Guys, today we're going to talk about how simple processes can create really big results. First, I want to ask you, I'm going to show you an image, and I want you to think about how was it drawn? If you had to replicate this image, what are the steps that you would take to recreate it? Get your answer really clear in your head, and then I'm going to show you how this image was actually created. Here we go. Isn't that crazy? When I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I was so surprised by the process that seemed so simple that created this incredibly complicated picture by the end. And I saw this video on Reddit, and one commenter had the most interesting take. They said, "What's interesting to me is that if I saw the finished drawing and I were asked to replicate it, I would try to draw the curved lines and patterns without realizing that it could be done in a simpler way. This is an example of the idea that a simple rule can create a complex result." So as you watch this video, I want you to ask yourself, where are you looking at someone else's beautiful, rich, complex end result and trying to replicate it for yourself by tracing the curved lines and the diagonal patterns, when what you really need to do is focus on the small, simple, daily actions that seem like they're not enough, that seem like they can't possibly create an extraordinary end result, but in reality, those small, simple, daily actions are the exact key to creating something extraordinary, as long as you keep at it long enough to let the larger picture emerge on its own. Because it's not that you can't create a stunning end result. You absolutely can. It's actually quite simple. The problem is that your brain is susceptible to a cognitive illusion. It will really, really seem like those simple daily actions that create the end result aren't good enough. In the same way that it really, really seems, if you look at this image, that the top line is longer than the bottom line. Even though, if you measure the lines, I promise you, they're actually the same length. I bring this up because there's nothing wrong with your eyes when it looks at that image of the optical illusion. It's a known image that everybody's eyes processes incorrectly. And in the same way, there's nothing wrong with your brain for thinking these small daily actions aren't enough. This is a known situation that everyone's brain processes incorrectly. Because the reality is, your small daily actions compound, which means that the result grows exponentially, not linearly. But your automatic brain just doesn't see exponential growth. It always assumes linear growth. And even when you tell yourself these results are going to compound, your brain is surprised every single time by what that actually looks like. Now, optical illusions aren't a problem as long as you know how to spot them and correct for them. And cognitive illusions also aren't a problem as long as you know how to spot them and correct for them. It's only a problem if you fall for the illusion and then you spend your time chasing the mirage of shortcuts and hacks and sophisticated strategies. Instead of saying, I know that stuff is tempting, but it's just a mirage. And then getting down to work, drawing one simple straight line at a time until the picture is complete. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the beautiful end result that you are trying to create? And what is your small, simple daily process to get there? And how will you keep yourself focused and on track while the siren song of shortcuts plays in your ears and your mind is convinced that you should abandon your simple daily process and go do that instead? I want you to have clear answers to all of those questions. And I want you to turn those answers into action every single day until the picture is complete. Because, guys, creating the life you want is so devastatingly simple. And I refuse to stand by and watch while you don't do it, not when it's right there in your reach. So come talk to me and let's get started. Go to the link above and book a free coaching consult.